Howdy folks, this is the EKEN V8s action cam from GearBest. It's a true 4K capable camera, 25 frames a second, and it has full-time electronic image stabilisation, even with 4K, so that'll be interesting to test out. It uses the Ambarella A12 processor, which is a very capable processor, same as the T5E and the SJ7, I think. The sensor is a Panasonic 14 megapixel MN34110, so you would expect pretty decent results from this camera, so let's check it out. Alright, let's have a look inside. So, nice little box. Have the camera mounted on the top. Nice little high quality attachments and clips. They're nicer than any other qualities I've seen before, actually. Got a little clip with a plastic sort of safety latch there that you have to lift up. And there's the little camera in its waterproof housing. Waterproof up to 30 meters, and it has a 170-degree wide lens. Alright, so let's open up the box. Got a little manual in there. I'll have to read that a little bit better later on. 2 boxes of accessories. Don't forget you also get this packaging mount as well, which is quite useful as a little mini tripod sort of setup. Alright, so let's look in the box of accessories. We have a USB charging adapter, one of those nice flat ribbony sort of USB charging cables, micro or mini USB or whatever they are. We get a wrist strap, and this is a very nice touch. I like this little mini tripod. That's brilliant. I will definitely use that. Now in the other box we get some accessories, another of those clip mounts with the little safety latch there, handlebar mount, very useful, little naked housing or frame, which is very good. More little brackets, sticky pad latchy sort of mounts, more tripod brackets, and we get a remote control as well. Also get leash and cable ties and a spare back. So this one has holes in the back to allow more sound in, but means that it's not a waterproof housing when you have that back on. That's what this wrist strap is for. It's for the remote control, I guess. So there's the little wrist mounted remote, which is awesome. Let's open the housing, pull the camera out. On the front we have the mode button and a little update screen, or a little settings screen on the front there. On the side we have 3 ports, the micro USB, HDMI and micro SD card. This camera requires a U3 or better card, otherwise it'll give you an error message. I'll show you that in a little while. 2-inch screen on the back. On the top we have the shutter release. On the other side we have the Wi-Fi button, and sort of that's also used for menu selections. And on the bottom it's the battery compartment, and it's 3.7 volt, 1050 milliamp hour. Now going through some of the menu settings, we're on video setting now. We push the button at the front, change to photo mode, burst mode, time-lapse photo mode, and then video playback, photo playback, and we can get to the settings, then shutter button to get into it. Video resolutions. So video resolutions are 4K, 25 frames a second, 2.7K, 30 frames, 1080-60 and 1080-30. Photo resolution, it's only 14 megapixels, 4:3 aspect ratio, no other choices. So video interval, you can record 5-minute or 1-minute segments, and you can turn that off or on. I tend to have it off. Put the timestamp on if you want to. Exposure, you can adjust the EV values as usual. Burst mode, you can choose how many photos you want in the burst. Time-lapse photo interval, lots of good choices there. Time-lapse photo, turn it on or off. Video, time-lapse video resolution, you only get two choices, 4K or 2.7K. I would actually like 1080 in that choice because that's what I usually use. Time-lapse video interval, you can choose how many seconds between each frame, and you can turn that off or on. Power frequency, language, remote control, you can disable that if you want to. Setting up the date and time, turn the beeps on or off. I don't like the beeps. And the volume, get rid of that. Screensaver, power saver, I turn all of them off. Reformat the card. Reset and version, and this is version 2.0. When you first put a card in the camera, it'll do a little speed check for the card to decide whether the card you're using is fast enough to record 4K video. And the first card I tried is my usual card, which is a SanDisk Ultra, and it came up with a message saying that wasn't fast enough for 4K video. It still seemed to work okay, but I guess you may get some dropped frames or something like that. So then next card I tried was the faster SanDisk Extreme, and that gave the message that it was fast enough for 4K video, and that is a U3 class card, so that's what you need to look for. Press and hold to turn it off. Alright, I'll just show you the Wi-Fi app. You push the Wi-Fi button on the side there to bring up the waiting for Wi-Fi connection, and the Easy iCam app, download. Hopefully this is going to work, and it looks like it is. There we go. Camera's connected. We can start and stop recordings. That's video. There we go, so we can change, by pushing this one here, we can change between photo and video. That's taking photos now. Up the top here we can change the resolution, and they're the only selections you get on the video resolution. It doesn't bother with the higher frame rates or the lower resolutions. Got the EIS up here, that's just showing that the image stabilisation is always on, you can't turn it off. So that's the app, that works very well. Turn the Wi-Fi off. Now I can show you the remote. It goes that way, and you just have a photo button and a video button. You just push the video and you can see the little video start. The little video icon is turned red to indicate that it's recording. Push to stop again. Push the red to take a still photo. And if you want to shut it down, you can just press and hold the red button and it shuts the camera down. Now this remote is water resistant, so I guess you can use it on your wrist while you're surfing or snorkeling, kayaking, something like that, and you can operate the camera while it's in the waterproof housing, I think. I'll have to try that actually. I assume that's what it's for. One thing I'm not so keen on with this camera is that there is no charge indicator. So you plug it into charge and there's no indication when it's finished, if it's actually charging or anything like that. And I suspect the camera has to be off as well. If the camera is on, I don't think it charges. It just sits there getting warm. So hopefully that can be improved with firmware updates. All we need is some sort of indicator that it's actually charging and when it's full. Now for some 4K tests. Image stabilisation is always on, so you can't turn it off. This is 4K, 24 frames a second, and testing the audio as well. .7, 30 frames a second now. 1080, 60 frames a second, with a bit of sun out. .1080, 30 frames a second now. Here are some time-lapse and still photo examples. My impressions so far are it's not a super sharp lens. It's okay, but not as sharp as some of the other cameras that I've tested, but it's quite usable. The image stabilisation works very well full time, all the time, even on 4K, 25 frames a second. The colours are nice and natural and not oversaturated, not over sharpened or anything. The audio on the camera is reasonable. It's a little bit muddy, I suppose, but it's perfectly in sync with the picture, which is not the case with some of the other cameras I've tested. Perfectly usable. Picks up a fair bit of wind noise, as you probably heard as I was walking down the street. But totally usable. A good budget camera. It seems to be sharper within, say, 5-10 metres, and not so focused in the distance, I suppose, which is probably good for an onboard camera or an action selfie style camera. So this is the EKEN V8s from GearBest. Purchase links in the description, and thanks for watching.